Hi there, it's Bernie Miller here with you today with another process video, and today I'm using a gorgeous cut file from the Neat and Crafty cut file, and here is a little peek at what I'm going to be creating today. So I'm just showing the beautiful kitty cut file that I grabbed from the Neat and Crafty cut store. I will leave a link down below for that cut file. It's beautiful. I'm not typically into themed projects, and this cut file was perfect because I have a picture of my daughter there on the left there with the brand new kitten that we got at the end of, was it last year? No, maybe the year before. Yeah, the year before. Geez, time has gone fast. So this kitten was perfect because it's floral and it's not too themey or anything like that. So, like I said, I'll leave the link below. Go check it out because it is a beautiful file. So I'm using the gorgeous Hazelwood collection, which is by One Canoe 2, and I have already made quite a few layouts from this collection, and I just can't seem to stop. I'm on a bit of a roll at the moment, and I love it when that happens with papers. So this collection already, I think I've scrapped 4 layouts, a traveler's notebook, and a project life spread as well. So I'm only down to the drips and drabs, but I've still got, I reckon I could probably get one more layout out of this collection, and then it is done for me. I love it when that happens, when a collection is versatile like that, and you just want to keep on creating with it. It means you're getting your money's worth. Well, I think so anyway. So I was just rolling the paper there before because I did prep it a little bit earlier with some clear gesso, and the paper did warp a little bit because it's been a very hot and humid last couple of weeks here, and I'm just finding when I'm gessoing the paper, it doesn't normally warp like that, but in the last few days, with every page that I've been doing, it has been warping. So I finished my kitten there. I've pulled in the black and white checkered paper to try and ground that kitten. And now I'm just going to add, obviously, some watercolor into the background. And I don't have the exact pink. So I'm using my watercolor set, which I just picked up from my local Big W store here. It's just a cheap watercolor set. I think I paid maybe $14 for that set, and I love it. I've used it on so many layouts, and the colors are just beautiful. But I didn't have the exact same pink, so I pulled a bit of that watercolor, and then I used my Liquitex white ink, which comes not as a spray but as a dauber. So I just popped in a couple of sploshes of white and then made that nice pink, but then realized that was going to be a long and arduous task, so I pulled in some of the Tim Holtz Distress paint, and it's in a baby pink color, and that was perfect. So I did have to water it down a fair bit just so I didn't see the end of the dauber there as I was adding on the paint. And then I came in with some Heidi Swap color, and I think it's called Georgia Peach or Coral, maybe it's Coral. Yeah, so I did leave the paper there to dry for some time, and I came back to it later on, and hence why the color is a bit different now in the video, because it did take a bit longer to dry, like I said, maybe because of the moisture in the air. It's been incredibly hot. Like, we've had records over here of 44 degrees, just for the days, and I think one of the nights here, oh, excuse me, one of the nights here, I think it was still 40 degrees at about 9 o'clock at night, and it was just horrendous trying to sleep in it. And with the children, I almost felt like I was sleeping in a volcano pit. Not that I've ever slept in a volcano pit, but I can imagine that's what it would feel like for that night that it was just so incredibly hot. Yeah, luckily now that weather's passed, and we're waiting very patiently for autumn to arrive, and it just seems like it wants to take forever to get here. Just looking forward to some cooler nights. So I just went through there and fussy cut some of those pretty little flowers because I do want to still keep this, a fairly girly layout. And like I said, I'm not much into themey pages, and that's why I love that kitten. It's just helping me to keep it more in my style, which is lovely. And just to help pull in some of that black, I thought I would add a strip of this checkered paper to the top and to the bottom, just to close in that layout. And then I've also had this green strip that was off one of the bottom of the pattern papers, and I was desperately trying to add it in to the layout somewhere, just to bring in some of that green as well that was in the kitten. But I don't end up using it as a strip. Instead, I'll cut it down, and I use it as a little stamping spot in the top left hand cluster there. So I'm just going to adhere those down, and then I'm going to toddle off here in a minute and just sew those down, just for a bit of interest, because I can't seem to not have to sew on a layout. And sorry for my big head there. Just wanted to make sure that it was all lined up, and then starting to adhere everything down. This layout came together relatively quickly too, which was great. I don't have much time anymore these days, looking after these two little ones by myself and working full time. I don't tend to have as much time as I would like to sit at my craft table and get some scrapbooking done. So I'm trying to find faster ways to get these memories recorded. And hence why I'm loving this traveler's notebook at the moment. I'm really excited. I picked one up not too long ago, one of the new Webster Pages one, and yeah, I'm really excited that I'll be able to scrapbook some smaller photos and smaller memories into there, and take off that pressure off me of having to feel like I have to get a 12 by 12 layout completed. And I'm hoping it's going to help my storage problem as well. I live in a very small house, and those 12 by 12 albums are taking up lots of space already. Anywho, so I'm yeah, digging through my doily stash, looking for the perfect doily, and just wanted to add a bit of softness behind those two photos. And I'm going to come in here also with some tissue paper that I've always got on hand. This tissue paper I received in the mail. It had one of my beautiful review dresses last year sometime. It was wrapped up in it, so I've kept all the packaging and used that behind my photos. Oh, and there's a little hand. I'm not sure who that was. It was either my daughter or my son. I'm coming in to pinch something off Mummy's desk. And I'm just writing the date down there because it was on the back of the photo, and I don't want to forget the date, so that I'll be able to come back in and stamp that a little bit later on. And what am I going to do next? Oh, that's it. Trying to work in that green strip, and it just, yeah, couldn't make it work. But I found this cute little mason jar. It has nothing to do with the picture. I just added it simply because it was cute, and it acted like a bit of a grounding for that little checkered heart that I wanted to add down there, just so the heart didn't look like it was just randomly floating around. And just adhering that down. More shuffling of that title, and I'm just going to commit and put it down. I've added some foam adhesive to the back there, just so you know it's a little bit just so it's got a bit of height. And I'm also using some extra adhesive just to make sure that it doesn't fall off in my albums a little bit further on down the track. So the title is obviously Hello Lovely, and then I will add my journaling down the bottom here. Oh, and there it is. There's that green thing, the green strip of paper that I finally managed to make work. I'm going to add it up there, and that is where I am going to add a little sentiment which says, "You are my fave," which came off one of my roller stamps. So I think it might be an Amy Tangerine one. And yep, adhering that down. Like I said, I'm going to come in here and add my journaling in a moment, and of course a few black splatters never go astray. And look, that's it. Thank you so much for coming by today, and please go and check out the Neat and Crafty Cut Store. I will leave a link to that Etsy store, sorry, down below. And yeah, I hope you have a fabulous day and week, and I shall see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.